Welcome back, sports fans, to the St Ives Sports Hub Golf channel, where we're going to be playing each week a virtual tournament against other players around the globe. This week we're playing Harbour Town golf links, which is where the PGA will be residing this weekend. So we'll be following them around. We'll see if we can post a good score. This is a live event, so there's no mulligans or anything like that you can take. If you want to have a go and post a good score, feel free to message us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to see if you can post a good score as well. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get a good drive down there. A little bit of a cut. Just a little. Couldn't place it any better if I walked down there. 119 to the pin. So that is my gap wedge, 120 club. Let's see if we can get one close. Start off as we mean to go on. There we go, 52. Long and left, please. We'll take it. Solid part to start with. Okay, what next do they have? Par 5, dogleg left to right. Again, we're going to be taking the 3-wood off the tee. No real damage in front of the green. So, lends itself left to right. Let's see if we can hit one just left of that 240 sign in front of us with a touch or a hint, a vapour of left to right. Let's see if we can get a little bit of movement on this ball. Keep cutting. Not enough. Sit down. Okay. No real, I can see the green from here. I can see the green from here. So 215 to the pin. We can a little low punch with a U505 Titleist iron. See if we can bump one up there. Okay. It's one of those sort of stingers. Stay there. And gave it a chance. That's okay. From where I was, no problem. We're back in play. What we got here? 22 yards to the pin. Slopes a little bit left to right. Yards. Little green sloping a little bit from back to front, so we can afford to throw it a little bit into the green. It shouldn't roll on too much. We'll take that. One under. Okay, next hole. Dog leg right to left, it looks like. Par 4. Okay, so I'm thinking if we can kind of have a little look at this green, as you can see. I'm going to hit that one with a, potentially with a little bit of left to right action on this ball. Let's see if we can get it somewhere there or thereabouts to give us a good shot into the green. Didn't measure that one. I don't think I had it in the box. There we go, let's have another go. I don't know whether you'd class that as an air shot. Okay, here we go. Technology, eh? You gotta love it. That should be okay. So that should give us a nice little 1-4-3 into the green. Saying 1 foot up, so a little bit more than 1-4-3, but not enough to kind of write home about. 3 foot being, what can I say, is 1 yard. So if I was to show you just up here, where it says 143 and then it says up 1 foot, if that was 3, I'd add an extra yard to that. At the moment it's 1-4-3 to the pin. So we're going to play a nice little pitching wedge into that green. See if we can get it relatively close. I pulled it. Never mind. No real damage. 19 yards coming out of the rough. I'm going to tidy a few things up. Slopes again towards us, so I'm not going to worry too much about this running on. I want to make sure that I can pitch it on the green and kill it into that slope. Let's go. So we can go about 2 to 3 foot to the left. See if we can run round. Too greedy. Never mind. Next hole. Back to level. 130. 130. .144 to the back of the green. Cover distance 118, 2 foot down, so almost taking a yard off to the pin, but again, I will take no notice of that. I don't want to be short, I want to be long if anything, so we can put a good swing on this. That's okay, steady par. What you've got to try and do within reason, I know it sounds easier than what it seems, but on par 3s, just hit the green. Par 3s I find are a little bit more challenging than par 5s, where you can open your shoulders. This one being a par 5, you can kind of get away with the odd miss hit, whereas with par 3, you've got to just be a little bit more conservative, a little bit more focused. Okay, let's see what we can do. 242 to there. Probably want to get it just off the edge of those trees with a slight cut. I knew that. Go on. .272 with a 3-wood off the deck. I take it. So 216 to the pin. I'll add 10%, so I'm going to nestle the 3-wood down there. Let's see if I can just bonk one down there. 206, soft 3-wood. Be kind. Get up. It's okay. No real damage there in two. Now comes the fun part. A little chip and run. So 13 yards into green. Breaking a little bit. What I'm going to do is just a little pitching wedge. A little bit of a pitching wedge. Right choice. Back to 1 under. Par 4, dog leg left to right. So this would suit one of those shots, that left to right shape. Relatively short. Let's have a little look. Aim at that 215. So 255, sorry. So from here and here is my goalposts, as you can see. Where it says 255 to this sort of almost a solitary tree there, that's kind of my goalpost. If I can hit it there with a hint of left to right, we're in good shape. If it goes straight there, we're still in good shape, but ideally in the goalposts. Commit to the shot. Needs to sit down a touch. Okay. Almost double cross that. What I mean by that is that when you mean to cut it, and then you just get a little bit risk adverse and you hold it off and it goes pretty much dead straight to where you aimed it. But like I said, we're in good position. It goes right where we want it to go. 108. So 108 to the pin. Coming out the bunker where we've got to add 20%. So we're looking at 28. Yeah, 108, so we're going to add another 20. Well, let's say 21. Let's just chance that. 21 yards. So yeah, we're looking almost at a 130 shot. Let's see if we can hit a nice pitching wedge up there. Just go a little. What I also find is that for you golfers, if you actually do the old classic Lee Trevino, talk your way through the shot. Those who obviously don't know Lee Trevino, look him up. Probably one of the best ever talented players you'd ever hear about. So the great Lee Trevino used to talk his way through a shot. If there's trouble left or right, he wouldn't bring that. He wouldn't say, oh, there's water over there, so I want to hit it right. He would just go, I'm hitting it right. That positive verbal cue is key. So if you talk your way through a shot, it just kind of programs the brain a little bit better. Personally, that's my opinion. Okay, 159. We're taking a 9-iron into this. If you don't believe me, oh, Nice pitching wedge. If you don't believe me, 9-iron. You can see that. Does it say 9-iron? No, it says 48. That. Where's the 9-iron? There we go. There's your 9-iron. Okay, turn it upside down. Looks like a 6, but it is a 9-iron. Okay. 159. Let's have a little spot of the green. Long isn't a bad shout on this. There's no real trouble long. Short, left and right is not where we want to be. Cover distance 142. Just a touch. Just a touch. Release a little bit more. There we go. So like I said with par 3s, don't mess about, pick your yardage, know your distances. It's vital to scoring well. It doesn't have to look pretty, but it's all about targets with par 3s. It is literally target golf. Par 5s, par 4s, you can kind of get away with the odd wayward shot, So this being 375, it's a short par 4. We can see that there's a split fairway there. So let's have a little look at this course design. So split fairway 235. This distance here is right in the wheelhouse of a lot of good players where they're trying to hit that ball, possibly 3-wood driver. This is a no-go. You're bringing trouble in. So we want to kind of almost pitch it round about here, give ourselves a good enough chance. If we can kind of get ourselves down there or thereabouts, you can see that then leaves me 174 yards into the green. So as my old pops would tell me, son, if you're going to lay up, lay up. So we don't want to be hitting the club that's going to get us exactly 222 yards. We want to be almost short of that in an ideal world. So I'm taking a 7-iron, which is almost my 190, 195 club. Just put a good swing on it. Just a hint of draw. Okay, it'll do. No damage. Okay, so what we got here, 206 into this, to the pin. 206, I don't think there was any trouble out on the right hand side. So we kind of almost want to hit it there. Mark it on that line, 206, so 192 is cover distance. We're at 206 club here, which is my 6-iron. You can see that, it's definitely not a 9-iron, put it that way. Okay, so 6-iron, slightly to the right with a hint of draw. Let's put a good swing on it. It gives me a chance. Hold up there, hold up. Okay, so steady par, walk off, next hole. So we're now getting to the halfway house. Generally, this is the time to sort of refuel, keep that focus. water. Fruit, I'd say banana, personally. I think if you're having things like nuts and all that, yes, you do have a good slow release, but sometimes that can create gastric, I suppose, disruption. So you start to get a little bit achy in the tummy. You want to keep something nice, or a protein shake, something very simple, a little bit of energy. The best thing really is water. But let's see, 303. Let's see what this holds us. Okay, here we go, 270 to there. So 270. Again, just I think a nice 3-wood. A hint of left to right. You can see those 2 trees over there. If I cut one off that, this is 267, and pitches over here, it's not a bad play. Reason being is because there's the density of those trees. Even if I go long, this isn't really going to cause any trouble. So in a theory, even those trees are there, they don't really come into play in the sense of danger. It's almost making the fairway a little bit wider. So I can afford to attack this down left side with a hint of a cut. If it pulls, it's getting closer to the flag. If it stays on my line, I'm happy. Go long, go long. Okay, so it's long enough left that I've actually got an opening to the green. So something that Scheffler's phenomenal at. If he gets a good break, he then capitalises and he somehow turns what potentially could be a bogey into a birdie. So we've got a 50-yard shot here out of the rough. I'm going to go with a lob wedge here. You want to have a little look at the green. The pin isn't something that I'd want to be kind of almost attacking. Reason being is that you've got a bunker to the right of that, just short and right. I want to kind of almost, if anything, just pitch it a little bit to the left. It's all about getting the right yardage. We've got to add 10% to this, so we're looking at 55 yards to the pin. If you want to get a little bit more anal about it, cover distance is, as you can see here, cover distance is 40. So I want to kind of pitch it probably around about here and then let the contour take it towards the flag. It's not a flag I'd want to chase at, but I definitely don't want to be over this zone. So here, even if I hit it here, gives me a chance to make par. So we're going to be a little bit aggressive, but not too much. So what I mean by that is that we're going to go almost pin high to the left and then just put a good swing on it. 46 yards to that point. Add your 10%, 4.6. We're into your 50 plus zone. Okay, here we go. 40 yards is definitely what we want to cover. 40 yards plus your 10%, 44 yards. I've got a lob wedge here. Hands down the shaft a touch. Commit to the shot. There we go, no damage. Walk off with a par. So what appeared to be quite a bad tee shot, walking off with a par at the halfway is good. So we're currently lying, I think it's 2 under. You can't be aware really, in my opinion, of the field. You've just got to do what you can do in terms of you can only control what you can control. You can't be affected by what other people are doing. So stay in the moment, stay in your own game and just enjoy the round.